We are on prepositions this week, Unit 2, Week 5. So make sure all of your information says that before we get started. So let's talk about what a preposition is. Prepositions give your reader more information about what you're talking about. So maybe I'm talking about a bird and I want to say that he's flying over the birdhouse or around the birdhouse or he's going through the birdhouse. Gives you information about what my bird's doing. So the words I have underlined on the screen, these are common prepositions: over, around, through, in, and a lot of times those prepositions will be within phrases. So a prepositional phrase would be the 3 or 4 words that fit with the preposition. Now, a lot of times they have a rhythm like that: over the birdhouse, around the birdhouse, through the birdhouse. Now, it won't always have to be birdhouse. So let's look at some other options for prepositional phrases. In order to add them into your writing, you'd start with a simple sentence like Jake runs. We have a subject, we have a predicate. But I want some more information about what he's doing when he's running or where he's running. So I can add prepositional phrases like these. Jake runs after the dog. So after is a preposition, and he's going after the dog. In the morning, through the field. These are all prepositional phrases, what I have underlined. The bold word, those are some common prepositions. And I have some common prepositions here in the video. There are some listed in your packet, I think, too. So let's see if we can add one. What else could we add for Jake runs? Jake runs to the market. Maybe he forgot to buy some milk. So to the market could be a prepositional phrase. Let's try to find some. The car drove up the hill. Well, I know where my subject is. That's the car. My subject's driving. Up the hill gives more information about where it's driving. This is my prepositional phrase, up the hill. And it says in my directions, underline the prepositional phrase, circle the preposition. The preposition is going to be your first word that starts your prepositional phrase. Up, from, around. So when you do the first page in your packet, you'll be doing the same thing. The beautiful birds flew near the lake. I have a subject, my beautiful birds. They're flying, that's my verb. Near the lake's my prepositional phrase. Up the hill, near the lake. Got that beat going? You should maybe make a song. Near's my preposition, so I'm going to circle it. Now this one's a little different because you might be thinking, Miss Sangren, they're always coming at the ends of sentences, so I'm always going to underline the last 3 words. Don't do it. The girl with the ponytail was in line first. My sentence is about the girl and the fact that she was in line. My prepositional phrase in this one comes in the middle. The part that's giving you more information is that she has a ponytail, because I could have the sentence without that. The girl was in line first. So think about it this way. Prepositional phrases give more information, but if you take them out, the sentence still makes sense. So with the ponytail is my prepositional phrase, and my preposition is with. So we can check them down here. We did great. So now let's try a couple more. I watched television with my friend. So think about what you think I should underline, and then check with what I actually do. Did you get it right? With my friend is the prepositional phrase, because I watched television could be by itself. Here's me, my subject, what I'm doing, I'm watching. What about this one? By the front door, you will find the key. Think about what's giving you more information. This is telling you where I'm finding the key. By the front door. That's my prepositional phrase. My preposition is by. And if you're stuck, maybe look for some of these key words. Remember, we had that list that was going to be in your packet, and it's right here in the video too, so you could always pause it at this point and check for those words. Looks like we got all those right. By the front door. So the first page of your packet, you will underline the prepositional phrase, circle the preposition. Sometimes there can be more than one within a sentence, so watch for that just in case. When you're ready for the second page in your packet, you'll want to continue on with the video. And this slide is for the second page in your packet. It talks about objects of prepositional phrases. So we've found prepositional phrases. We rock at it, like during the music concert. During was our preposition. So our object of the preposition is the noun or pronoun that follows at the end. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to underline the prepositional phrase. Your book should be on your desk. Now this is one where it doesn't really make sense if you take this off. Your book should be. But here's your prepositional phrase, on your desk. On is my preposition. I'm not going to circle that this time. Where is the book? It's on the desk. Desk is the noun. That's called the object of the preposition. We can check it. Oh, we did great. Let's try this one. The restaurant with the famous pizza is just up ahead. So I'm going to look for my basic sentence. That restaurant is just up ahead. It happens to have famous pizza. It doesn't have Chinese or Mexican or any other things like sushi. So this is giving me more information. So here's my prepositional phrase. And again, I'm not going to circle the preposition this time. I'm circling the noun or pronoun that follows at the end. That's called the object of the preposition. Yep, did it right. So let's try just two more before you try your page. I lost the invitation for the wedding. I lost the invitation. There's my basic sentence. For the wedding's my prepositional phrase. Which one do I circle? Not the preposition today. We're doing the object of the preposition. So the wedding. Did you see my flashlight by the treehouse? Well, I could have, did you see my flashlight? But I want to give my reader more information, so I'm saying by the treehouse. There's my prepositional phrase. Here's the object of my prepositional phrase. So you try page 2, see how you do, and then you can continue on with the video. Page 3 is not actually prepositions. They added in a page for you to talk about if you use book titles or movie titles in your writing. And I know some of you have been doing that, so I want to make sure we know how to do that correctly. Italics, that's when they write something slanted like that. And underlining is used for large pieces of work. Think like the title of a whole book or the title of an entire magazine. Or here we have the whole newspaper is called the Leader Telegram. So you can choose underlining or italics. You'll see italics quite a lot though. If it's a section within the bigger piece, like maybe I have an article in the Leader Telegram, that's when I use quotation marks. You can also see quotation marks if it's a title of a song, or maybe it's a section within a book. This page also is going to talk a little bit about colons and commas within the use of writing a letter. If you write a friendly letter to someone, maybe you're writing to Grandma Jane, you would use a comma after Dear Grandma Jane. Dear Grandma Jane, comma. If you are writing a business letter, maybe you're writing to a company to tell them something about a product you've used, or you have a question for someone, you would use a colon in your opening greeting. So let's try a few of these. I have a letter to Uncle Jim here. Dear Uncle Jim, I would like to thank you for the book Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. It has many short stories, but my favorite is the Slithery D. So we have Dear Uncle Jim. So I'm going to ask myself, is that a friendly letter or a business letter? Well, if he's my uncle, I'm writing a friendly letter. So I'm going to use a comma right here. I would like to thank you for the book. So I know it's a book title. Use clues in the sentence to know if it's books or articles. It's a book title. So I go back up. Book title, is that italics or quotation marks? Italics for the big stuff or underlining. So, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Now, some people ask me, how do you know when the book title ends? Do you see how dark is still capitalized here? All important words in a title get capitalized. So sometimes if the's in there, that's not going to be capitalized. The first word, though, will always be capitalized, even if it's the, and the last word will be. So I know all of these words are in the title. And then I put it in italics. And I try my last one. Now, we're talking about a whole book here. Inside the book, it has many short stories, but my favorite is the Slithery D. So the Slithery D is one thing inside my whole book. So that one is where I would have quotation marks because it's a shorter part of my entire book. So let's try a couple more. I write for the newspaper, the Sun Chronicle. Okay, think in your head. Do you think Sun Chronicle, should this be italics or underlined? Okay, and then watch what I do. Or should it have quotation marks, I should add. This one would be an underline or an italics because it's the actual name of the newspaper. If it was just an article, that's when it gets quotation marks. A Tradition Returns to Norton was the first article I ever wrote. So there's an article. Articles are within a bigger piece, so they get quotation marks around the title. Remember, look for those capitalized letters to know when the title starts and ends. So try the third page in your packet. This is great practice for when you write some of your own writing. And in the next video, we'll do a little bit of proofreading and a little bit of review.